Can you ever put an end to a vow that was made to Allah? For example, if I do this sin, I must pay £60.
A vow, in general, when you make a vow to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you try to stick to it. You make sure that you stick to it. And for whatever reason, if you can't stick to it, then you do the kafaratul yamin. And that is either you free a slave, or feed 10 poor people, or clothe 10 people, 10 poor people. And if you can't, then you fast 3 days. The Prophet ﷺ said, Kafaratu an-nadri, kafaratul yamin. The expiation for a vow is the expiation for a yamin, which is exactly the same. The last part of the question, where a person says, if I refrain from something, oh Allah, if I fall into this sin, I will pay X amount of money. That is called nadhrul lijaj, whereby a person says something in order to, or says it's like they're punishing themselves. They say, every time I fall into this sin, I'm going to fast 3 days, for example. So if a person does this, like it's mentioned in the question, if they do break their promise, for example, in the question it said a sin. If they do commit that sin, then to expiate for that, they should do the same expiation that we said a few minutes ago, where they free a slave, or feed 10 poor people, or clothe 10 poor people. And if they're not able to do so these 3, you can do whichever one you want. Lakin, if they're not able to do any of that, they need to fast 3 days. And that's a common mistake that people do. They just say, oh, I've broken a vow, or I've broken a promise, I need to pray 3 days, fast 3 days. They automatically go to fasting.